What you are currently witnessing is the fall of MAGA, not as an ideology, but as an attainable political movement. And as the years go by, leading into the midterms in 2026 and inevitably the race for the presidency in 2028, you will see those dominoes continue to fall. And that is because if you look at human progress throughout history, if you look at countries that have figured it out, if you look at the European Union, specifically the countries with fantastic quality of life, fantastic standard of living, what you will see is that the only way, who would have thought, the only way to benefit the middle class, the only way to benefit the 99%, the bottom 99%, is to instill social and economic programs that are progressive. And what's very interesting, you can see this in Europe, you can start to see it here, is that even the top 1%, they're all for it. The only group of people, the 0.01% at the very top, the 0.01% that control the puppet that is America, they are the only people who are adamantly against any sort of program that will sway the odds, that will put the cards in the favor for the other 99.9%. And to be honest, those billionaires, they're in the pockets of Democrats and Republicans. But right now, it is painfully obvious when you look at the policies instilled by MAGA, by Make America Great Again, and perhaps not even the movement, but the people in charge of the movement, predominantly Donald Trump and whoever is controlling the puppet that is Donald Trump behind the scenes, they instead are trying to enrich the already rich. So, regardless of the intentions of the MAGA movement, regardless of whether you lie on that side of the camp or if you lean left, the fact of the matter is the MAGA movement is slowly collapsing. And what you are going to see in 2026 is a blue wave. And what you're going to see in 2028, this is my prediction, you will see a Democrat win the presidency. Some people might even say, that's not a prediction, that is just common sense. I would agree. I would agree that the broad bulk of this country is fed up with the last 10 months. And when you extrapolate that over 3 more years, when it comes time to have a presidential election, as long as it is free and it is fair, and I do not fall into the conspiracy camps that some election has been rigged. There is money that goes in one direction or another, which can sway the odds, but I still believe in the integrity of our election system and our checks and balances. So if we have a free and fair election in 2026 and a free and fair election in 2028, what you are going to see is a massive domination by the left. Not because inherently their policies are better, although I do think that they are. But that is not the reason. The reason is the same reason that MAGA, that Trump won in the first place, and that was a rejection of the extreme on the left. What you're going to see in 2026 and 2028 is the rejection of the extreme on the right. And what is going to be left standing, I hope to God, is a better, more stable, more rational America. As I have said before, as I have on my bio and some of my social medias, the voice of reason fades into the distance the louder the extremes become. We live in a country where the extremes are so loud, so vocal, that even if they are a minority, even if they are a small 5, 10, or 15% subset group on either side, they are loud enough to cut through all the noise that everyone else is making. And because of that, rationality fades away. I hope that after 2026, after 2028, regardless of who is in the White House, regardless of who controls both chambers in Congress, I hope that we have a more rational, more solutions-driven leadership. Now, that is what I hope. But if you look at history, unfortunately, unless we don't make our voices heard every single day, it's just going to be more fucking quacks. More quacks with a different colored tie.